So, if you guys want to learn how to trade options, purchase my ebook located at wordly41.gumroad.com. And basically, how did I make $1,581 trading Apple put options? So, looking at 4/7, 1440. Yeah, 4/7, 1440. 4/7, 1440. So basically this candle right here, so as soon as I saw that Apple approached the 50-day moving average, I bought a couple of Apple put options as soon as it reached the 50-day moving average, waited for a rejection, and at 1507 I sold out the position and I made a gain of $1,581 trading a couple of Apple put options. So basically what the goal was here was that if looking at 4/7, so April 7th, based on the previous candles on the 30-minute time chart, you can see that Apple tried going above the 50-day moving average here, and then here, right? And so when I finally got in, which is this candle right here, let me zoom in a little bit more if I can, but where it says 15, like on the top left corner, right? Basically that candle, as soon as I saw that it approached the 50-day moving average, I immediately knew that it was going to get rejected by it. So I bought a couple of Apple put options, and then within that, so within basically the next candle, I sold out the position once I saw that it broke below the 9-day moving average. And basically all I waited for Apple to do was just get rejected by the 50-day moving average, see if it could break below that 9-day moving average, and it basically did, because the previous candles had trouble sustaining itself above that 9-day moving average. So with that in mind, I was like, okay, well, these two candles did use it, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna break below it, the 9-day moving average soon, later on today. That did happen. And so when I saw the opportunity, I was like, okay, I'm gonna sell out the position. I'm up $1,581. Basically, I'm up 14%. You know, that's my threshold of achieving, whether the position is up 10 or 20%. That's the threshold I want to sell out the position. That way I can move on to the next trade. So basically, what I'm trying to do is basically have a game plan set in mind. Basically, the game plan is to, step one, get into a position, whether I'm playing calls or puts, right? And basically try to aim for a 10 or 20% target, I guess, like profit. And so step two is to basically sell out the position once it reaches that threshold of being up 10 or 20%. That way I can move on to the next trade and repeat the cycle over and over again. Now, what happens if the position is not going my way, right? Basically, what I'll try to do when, let's say the market is in, like, let's say I got into let's say I'm not, what am I saying, dude? Let's say I didn't get into a good entry point, right? So let's say, I don't know, let's say I bought call options all the way up here, right, at 209.25, right, which is today's chart, right? Yeah, so basically looking at today's chart on the 30-minute time chart, let's say I got here at 209.25, right, the very high, and let's say I expect to see a little bit of more movement towards the upside. Basically what's going to happen is basically my position is going to go down because I bought at the high. And basically what I want to do is kind of wait to see if it can Apple land on the 50-day moving average. That would be my next entry point, so that way my average can be reduced. That way, let's say my position is down, I don't know, let's say my position goes all the way down from 209 to the 50-day moving average, which reads 207. I think my position would be down maybe 15%, maybe 10%, maybe. And so basically what I'll do is that once I see that lands on the 50-day moving average, right, basically I'll buy a couple of call options. That way my position, instead of being down originally maybe 15 or 20%, it'll be now down maybe, instead of being down 20%, it'll be down maybe 13 or 14%. Or let's say the position is down 15%, my position will be down maybe 10 or 12% now. So, or possibly even lower, if I'm timing my entry points where I want to get in. Specifically, let's say if like I said, if I bought the high, and let's say that was just a bad timing entry point on my part. Basically, I would just wait to see if I could see more, like a continuation of a downtrend of that stock that I'm following throughout the day. So I'll try to observe, like, oh, maybe now that's broken below the 50 and 20-day moving average, I could buy a couple of more Apple call options once it lands on the 9-day moving average. And so basically, it's just all about. I guess you could say really it's just about dollar cost averaging in a way. So like, I feel like there's no bad entry points really, unless you like I guess suck really observing the chart. That's why I kind of like using the moving averages, because I feel like moving averages are like, they're helpful sometimes but not all the times. In a way, I'll try to rely more so on like support and resistance on the daily chart. But let's say if I'm just like like I'm trying to day trade, right, I'll basically just stick to the 30-minute time chart, use the moving averages to see position my entry points. That way I don't get in a bad spot. So most of the times if I use the moving averages in my trades, most of the time they will go they'll go well. And sometimes when I try to use the moving averages, like when I try to trade without the moving averages, I feel like I kind of get stuck. Like I'll try to rely on support and resistance, but sometimes I don't know, I just feel like I don't feel comfortable doing that sometimes without doing it that way. I like to use the support and resistance is great, right? But I like to rely more so on the moving averages. The reason I say that is because it kind of gives you a little bit of a more boost to, like, I don't know, I guess to reduce your risk of your trade going sour. So yeah, I mean, that's my point of view of how I use the moving averages. I use the moving averages as entry points as well, whether it be used as support or resistance. And I use also the support and resistance levels on the daily chart. So that's pretty much it. That's how this trade went. And basically it's all about the power of try to dollar cost averaging. That's pretty much it. So like I said, if you guys want to learn how to trade options, purchase my ebook located at wordly41.gumroad.com, and I'll update you guys tomorrow on the Dogecoin position. That's pretty much it. As always, take care. This is not financial advice. As always, take care. Bye.